The big corporate gym takes too much. Minimum wage is what, 12, 13 bucks right now? It's twice minimum wage. It's an opportunity to get that 3,000 hours of general prep in under your belt. So what do you guys think about the order of this workout? What are some things that are sticking out here that you would not do or you don't like, and why? Why wouldn't you do bench dips?
Because it puts the shoulder extension at too much of an angle.
Anthropometry is the study of the body in its parts. The humerus comes back to 70 degrees. Why would you put the humerus at 90 degrees? It would be like me taking my elbow and seeing if I can get it to 230. Why? It doesn't do that. It stops at 180. And so by doing a bench dip, first off, I always ask, why are we going to do a bench dip? And why do you think most people do a bench dip? For what area? Tricep. So that's fine. Okay, have we done push-ups? Have we done close grip push-ups, superior exercise, military press? No? We'll focus on those. If you wanted to do a bench dip, I have never done them with a client. You got to restrict your range of motion, externally rotate, and you got to go like that. It's kind of a terrible exercise, so I agree with you. Let's take the bench dip out. What else?
Hip thrust kind of low.
Good, hip thrust low. So this is a force producer, right? We can produce a lot of tension here. So you want to put tension more up top, towards the top. So I agree with you. Let's move the hip thrust over here. Multi-jointed exercises first. Large to small, proximal to distal. What else?
I probably wouldn't do burpees just because I hate them and they make me miserable.
All right, burpees, taboo, right? I love burpees for people who hate burpees. I hate burpees for people who love burpees. I just like to stir the bee's nest. I'm a big believer in jumping. And jumping, I would put into this program. If they're a beginner, teach them how to jump. Here, none of this Tinkerbell stuff, right? We don't want that. You load, jump over a penny. Load, jump over a penny. You can do this right in the warm-up. Even if you're overweight to obese, our parents, they're not going to blow out a knee from doing this. Just working on the mechanics, the movement competency. If you've been doing them for a good month, where do jumps go in your programming? At the end or at the beginning? At the beginning, because it's maximal type 2 recruitment. Do we want to be doing jumps for 30 seconds? No, don't do them for time, do them for reps. 8 max, 10 max, that's it. Then you move on to the next one. Burpees are very exhaustive. That's why I would challenge the burpee. How do you think your bench dips, your stability ball curls, your push-ups, your military press, your lunges are going to be after you just smoked yourself in the beginning? It'd be like, all right, everyone, let's run a mile as fast as you can, and then right when you're done, let's rest 15 seconds, and then run 100 with perfect form. It's not going to be likely. You're already exhausted, right? So I'm going to take the burpee out, and depending on the circumstance of the individual, I'm going to do a prereq jump. So I'll put that as like the main first thing that we're going to do. And that's something that's called potentation. Potentation, PAP. Post-activation potentation. What it does, it primes the nervous system. So when you do a jump first and then you go into a force producer, you're actually going to be stronger. So that would be more advantageous versus putting it down here when you're tired. All right, so very good. I like that. What else you guys see? You'd be on your back, stability ball, and just do a knee curl. So it's just a leg curl.
I don't love that idea. Push-ups and military press back to back.
Why not?
They're both heavy push patterns.
Good. Then what's the synergist?
So you want to do a pull instead of
What's the synergist with the press? The agonist would be your chest here. Agonist would be your deltoid, triceps, right? So why are we do you think we're going to be stronger or weaker on that second one? Why? So we can make this better by organizing it and just separating with a pole, separating them with another exercise, lower body. You could do upper, lower, upper, lower. Obviously it depends on the client's goals, but this is for circumstantial for someone at a corporate gym that's going to be doing a 25-minute workout. I agree with you. What else do you guys see in here?
Bossy ball squat.
Bossy.
Pretty high risk of injury for people that remember that.
I love that because I just got some comments on some of our posts. Handstand push-ups, there's a one-arm push-up. People are like, that's so dangerous, you're going to blow your arm out. It's like, that's a pretty absurd claim, not knowing the individual. But let's be safer and get a stability ball and put our deconditioned client on there and do a squat, curl, and a press, like certain associations have you do, right? Unstable surface training, pros and cons. Been injured, awesome. Physical therapy, awesome. Con, general pop, it's not normal. You compromise force production in lieu of what? The main argument on the other side, I always get those trainers, well, you're gonna get more core activation. How do you refute that? Have you ever been into a laboratory and looked at EMG activity on muscles in the brain during a heavy lift? That answer will always be no, because we just cherry pick whatever the coolest person with the most likes or views on Instagram says. So when you, and this they did this at Ohio State with Dr. Kramer, they put like this cerebrum, what's a Marvel character, right? Come on nerds, I need your help. Professor X, he has that like little cerebrum thing he puts on there, has all these electrodes that go to computers on the muscles, and then we're squatting with max loads. The computer like almost blows up because of how much activation the brain is sending out with motor unit recruitment to the type 2 X's. So your core has to be engaged. So the argument is really, really weak. For therapy, it's fine, but we're not therapists. For general population, we need to get the core stable. Okay, just give them a goblet, do 10 reps. You're still in a proper zone to strengthen ligaments and tendons, and then do a plank. So the unstable stuff, when I see it in a program, I'm always gonna ask why. The other thing people are gonna say is balance. Older people need to work on balance. Now here's the question, do older people need to work on balance or do they need to get stronger? Because when we're stepping down the stairs, you can't stabilize in the frontal plane due to sarcopenia, dynapenia. You don't have the strength, and so you fall, you break a hip, you die. How about you do this with your clients? Take one client and do unstable surface training. Try it out. And take one client and do stable surface training. And watch what happens to their balance as they get stronger. The specific adaptation to imposed demands said, if you train unilaterally with load, you're gonna get stronger. Your balance will improve. But we like to drink the punch and follow blindly. So I agree with you in the Bosu ball squat. I would not do that, we're taking it out. The stability ball curl, it's a single jointed exercise way too high. So I wanna move this down. And there's a lot of variety that you can put in here, but if we do a jump into a hip thrust, into a lunge next, which you could do, but that demand's pretty high, right? So let's give the lower body a rest and then choose an exercise where you can produce more force. Now you could do a military press, I'm all right with that. Military press. 3, so we got the presses gone. What would be a good 3 to do? Anyone?
Lunges.
It'd be good to throw your lunges in here now. Then let's go to the push-up. And then let's do, notice one thing, what's a muscle that's not in here? Core, true. What else? We're not pulling. So let's get a back exercise in there. Let's do an Aussie. Inverted row. 6. Now let's do some of the isolation stuff. You could do your curl there. It's fine. If you want to do an abduction, that's fine. And then end off with your cardio. Typically we like cardio to be at the end because it's not nearly, it's aerobic where this is anaerobic, force production here. But due to the rest, now if I was doing this with a couple athletes, this would be appropriate now. But if you're at a corporate gym, your rest is going to be really, really low. So if you have to rest 15 seconds and you go back into jumps, how do you think your jumps are going to be? Probably not the best. So maybe what we do